unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes.
Welcome to the broadcast. Brandon Rhymes here, Consumer Quarterback Show, helping you understand your buying decisions, making you just a bit more street smart here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. We want to educate, entertain, enlighten, but most importantly, we want to engage with you so that we can help you win.
The only thing I'm addicted to right now is winning.
Save our hotline number in your phone, 813-750-0550. Consumer Advocate Hotline. Call or text that line. It's an off-air number, 813-750-0550. ConsumerQB.com. You can see links there to all of our expert contributors, the finest folks in all of Tampa Bay and the Gulf Coast region of Florida that we've assembled and we've vetted, and we bring on the show every day to help you understand your buying decisions. Coming up on the show today, we've got a great lineup for you. Attorney and legal analyst for the Consumer Quarterback Show, Lauren Frieder, representing FCMLaw.com, Frank Charles Miranda Law.com. Lauren's going to be in the studio for the second half. We got Clyde Smith, General Manager, Bilmar Beach Resort, joining us, as well as Dan Menikheim, Prohealth Pest Control. Clyde, give us a little teaser what you're going to talk about today, my friend.
Hey, Brandon, I'm doing great here at the beach. Just want to share with you how we're delivering great hospitality while still keeping everything safe. And I've got an update for the Standing Ovations event in November for you.
Love it, love it. Love Standing Ovations. Very cool. If you haven't seen that, you got to check out Standing Ovations coming up, Treasure Island, Florida, Bilmar Beach Resort. Clyde Smith coming up with our beach resort and beaches update. And let's start off with Dan Menikheim, Prohealth Pest Control. Hey, Dan.
Hey, how you doing?
Doing well, my friend, doing well. Got a little nice break in the weather coming here soon, and how's that going to be affecting you guys?
Well, you know what? It actually is going to be affecting all of our customers and everybody well. It is. We are coming into ant season. Right in the fall, they'll start to swarm. So people will think this is when we get to deliver great news, because people call us up and go, "Oh my God, I think we got termites," and it's going to become ant swarm season coming up. Not the termite kind. You might have termites, but most likely you don't. So good news for everybody in the Tampa Bay area that sees something swarming. It most likely will be an ant.
Oh,
so we'll be able to give you good news. Give us a call. We'll come out there, and we won't sell you termite control if you only need an ant service.
There we go. And, you know, it's interesting. I was in my backyard the other day, and I feel like all this rainwater just, like, saturated the earth, and it made it very, you know, of course, wet for a while there. We got a lot of rain at once, and I've noticed these, like, burrow-looking things, like little, what do you call those, little mounds, like, popping up all over the place. What's going on underground there?
You mean like ant piles?
Yeah, it's like ant piles. They're coming up, but I can see them on top, and then it's got like almost little mole. You can see where like there's something creeping underneath the grass there. You can tell it's pushed up the soil.
Yeah, well, if the soil's saturated, the insects they breathe oxygen, not water, so they're not. They're not amphibious, so what it could be happening is the colony is coming towards the top, and that's when it may even enter the home and stuff, because they're going to search for higher ground.
Right.
So it's just nature, you know. It's actually it's just some ants doing what ants do, you know.
Yep.
And you know, you'll just see more. You'll see more on the houses than in the ground. That's all.
Yeah. Yeah, we're talking with Dan Menikheim here, longtime friend of the program, Prohealth Pest Control, you know, all things termite and pest control. And it's been said, we've talked about this, is where you have real estate. People are always looking to take care of their number one asset. We're going to buy insurance for that property. We're going to make sure if it floods or wind comes. And then I've heard it said that termites cause more damage than, you know, fire. You got rising waters, flood, hurricane damage, all different types of damage. Termites cause more damage, and I guess it's because it's somewhat unseen, Mike.
Yeah, what happens is the termites, you know, first of all, even when we do a thorough inspection, my guys have trained, we know what to look for and stuff. We're only seeing a certain percentage of the actual wood in the home. It's less than 50%. You know, and what we always do when we look at the property, it's always the consumer's choice. We're just there to educate, and we leave it up to you, without being scary or anything, to educate you on what's going on out there. But realistically, if you don't have termite protection on your home, you should just get it. And I know a lot of people say like, oh, block homes. Yeah, if you live in a block home, your structure of your home, at least on the foundation and on the walls, is concrete. But where the termites come in is through the plumbing areas. And what are they going to attack? Your kitchen cabinets, the interior walls, the baseboards, the things like that.
Yep.
If if all of a sudden you put your hand through your kitchen cabinet door and all of a sudden the back of your kitchen cabinets are eaten by termites, the insurance companies, let me just clarify that, most insurance companies don't cover termite damage.
Yeah, so that's an interesting. Let's repeat that one. Most insurance companies do not cover termite damage.
Yeah, and I don't know any of them that do without a special policy. But I'm not an insurance agent, so
right. But they look at that as a maintenance thing. I mean, I could see that. That's something where you own the home. You should, have these. They got the Centricon. Tell us a little bit about some of the stuff that you can do to prevent it.
Yeah, we've done Centricon systems in the past, and what we like to do, because it's almost fail-safe. Nothing that you do is fail-safe, right? There's always a possibility it's going to through. We do soil treatments with a Termidor product that uses fipronil, and what it is, it's a treatment that adheres to the soil. About 6 inches to 12 inches within the soil, and it'll protect the home it'll kill termites that come up to the home for 10 years straight. And that's the best product we've ever seen in the 20 plus years I've been in the business, and my partner's 25 years in the business. It's the best product out there. You do a treatment around your home, and it'll protect it from subterranean termites for 10 years.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's a great peace of mind, I think, to know that you have your asset protection. Most people, even if it's an investment property or a second home, their investments in real estate are probably some of their largest holdings that they have. So it makes sense to look at the ways that you can protect and make sure that you're going to have longevity in that investment, and make sure that you're not, any of this deferred maintenance is going to hurt your property. And when you look at these types of scenarios where pest and look at pest control, what about some of these other critters getting up in? We had an interesting client recently that had he had some type of infestation up in the roof and the ceiling. I mean, it was pretty bad from what he was describing.
Oh, something like
rats. I think rats had got in there.
Yeah, rats or something like that. Well, they're also rats. Feed on garbage and other things, right? Well, they have predators. Yeah. So where do they like to hide? They like to go up in high places. Yeah. Most of our rodent infestations, people think like the most disgusting place to do is like to look for termites is going in their crawl space underneath the home. And I'll tell you this, Brandon, when I retire, I'm not going to miss doing that. Even though I am one of the owners of the company, I do intend to go underneath crawl space or not. But where the rodents get to is in the attic.
Right.
They like to be up high. That's away from the snakes and the other predators.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah.
And they can do a lot of damage up there. They can chew through the air duct
system.
Ductwork.
Yeah, ductwork. They like to chew on it. It gets hot, so they like to chew on everything, right?
Right.
Cords, whatever they want to do. They actually, insulation. They seem to be free of any effects on insulation, except for they like to bury tunnels in it and create little nests in them. They like insulation in attics. Yeah. So they're up there doing their thing, and of course they're not potty trained, right? They don't.
Right.
They don't wait till they go outside to use the bathroom, or even like dogs. They won't soil around their area. They go right where they are, and they actually use that as a way because they can't see well. So they actually leave trails of their urine and stuff around. Bottom line is when you get a major infestation in your attic, really what you might have to this level, suck out all the insulation, replace all your ductwork, and then seal up all the entries around your home so they don't come back in. So they create a lot, not as much as termites, but they can do some really disgusting damage for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you need it cleaned up after that, we got Jade's Premium Quality Cleaning. the official cleaning partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show, Jade's Premium Quality Cleaning, and they offer $15 off for any first-time cleanings that radio show family reaches out to them on the hotline. Dan, tell us a little bit more about some of your ongoing maintenance, and I think you guys have a somewhat of a VIP program where people can just kind of sign up and get checked up every quarter.
Yeah, our most popular program with us is the pest control prevention, to where we come out every 90 days, every 3 months, where we come up and we'll treat the exterior house, we're an all-inclusive product, includes rodent trappings to every type of bug, flea, and tick that you can think of is included in our program. And it's not just where we put the product that keeps you safe in your home. No one likes bugs. I don't care. And some people don't care how you treat the outside, but we're going to do a better job where anything we do on the inside is we're going to be, whether it's organic or not organic, we'd like to keep the products away from human beings and their pets.
Right.
You know why? Because even organic products, we went and, we've gone through this where we're like, oh, we'll just do organic products on the inside. And some people have an adverse effect to organic products.
Right.
They sneeze or whatever. They don't like them. Period. They don't want to smell anything that they don't do. So we use a lot of baits and a lot of exterior, pest control solutions, so that the client or anybody doesn't have any of the products, around them, whether it's organic or not. That we use all our products. We try to keep completely away from any of the people or the pets in the home.
Very good. Check them out online, prohealthpestcontrol.com. Dan Menikheim, prohealthpestcontrol.com. Is that the right URL, Mike or Dan?
Yeah, it is.
Prohealthpestcontrol.com.
Yep.
And
Correct.
Dan Menikheim, longtime friend of the program. Check him out. Does a great job, and work with our local area expert contributors. These are the folks that support this show, support the local economy, support Salem media, and we greatly appreciate it. Dan, thanks so much, my friend.
Have a good day.
Have a good day, my friend. All right, coming up, we've got Clyde Smith going to give us our Bilmar Beach Resort, give us a beach update over from Treasure Island, what's happening on the beaches, what are some of the latest in terms of mask and social distancing rules. And also, we have our feel-good story of the day. Teen grocery store worker helps pay elderly customers' bill. Stay with us. Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
This is Warwick Dunn, and you're listening to the Real Estate Quarterback Show hosted by my man, Brandon Rhymes.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com.
My friends, when choosing a listing agent to sell your home, their track record is critically important. Dennis Prager here for Brandon and Lindsay Rhymes, owners of Platinum MVP Team at Keller Williams Real Estate. They're consistently rated by the MLS in the top 1% of all Tampa Bay realtors, and that's a big deal. Brandon and Lindsay are always among the top realtors in the state. Call them today at 813-750-0550.
Find them at platinummvpteam.kw.com.
Selling commercial or residential property? Don't leave money on the table. List with the Platinum MVP Team at Keller Williams Realty. I'm Brandon Rhymes. Reach me at 813-670-7372 or platinummvpteam.com.
My name is James DeJerome, and I produce the Consumer Quarterback Show for Brandon Rhymes. The Consumer Quarterback Show is a team, a group of like-minded professionals who partner together to provide our audience sound advice, knowledge, and information to make them wiser consumers. We work with all types of business owners and aggressively promote our local economy. We're currently conducting interviews for our expert contributors. If you own a business or know someone who would benefit from the exposure our show provides, please contact us at 813-750-0550 or online at consumerqb.com.
You're listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-670-7372.
And we're back. Brandon Rhymes here. Consumer Quarterback Show powered by the Platinum MVP Team at Keller Williams Realty, a top 1% ranked real estate team here in Tampa Bay. Out of the 30,000 plus realtors in the greater Tampa Bay area, we rank in the top 1% of all realtors here in Tampa Bay. My wife, Lindsay, and I own and operate a top team here in Tampa Bay. And we got a couple of hot property listings. Want to let you know about some new ones that we've got. 13204 Fawn Lilly Drive. This is East Hillsborough County. A great opportunity to own real estate at 13204 Fawn Lilly Drive in Riverview. 4,500 plus square feet, 6 bedrooms, 5 baths, 3-car garage, and you've got waterfront amenities as well, resort-style amenities right here in beautiful Tampa Bay. Also, 1010 Bay Esplanade. This is on Clearwater Beach. It's on the north side of Clearwater Beach. A great buying opportunity right here in beautiful Tampa Bay. You are walking distance to the waters. This property has 3,151 square feet, 4 bedrooms, 3 bath, 2-car garage, private apartment, and a private sun deck that's on about the 3rd story high, 3rd level, and you got overlooking views over the Intercoastal Waterway and also out towards the Gulf of Mexico. 1010 Bay Esplanade, great buying opportunity here in Tampa Bay, and you can literally walk about 5 minutes to the beach and enjoy the beautiful sugar sands and dolphin-filled waters of North Clearwater Beach.
Sun is shining, the weather is sweet.
And great opportunity for Golf Cart Depot as well, giving a shout out to Discovery Golf Carts, and they are delivering these directly to your home or office or local park somewhere. If you want to test drive one of these golf carts, reach out to Discovery Golf Carts, aka Golf Cart Depot. Make sure you let them know the real estate quarterback sent you so you can take them up on those special offers and incentives. We really enjoy our Keller Williams Red golf cart. Use it for personal and commercial use. And let them know the real estate quarterback sent you. All right, Clyde Smith, General Manager of the Bilmar Beach Resort. What's going on with the beaches, my friend?
Brandon, we are doing well out here. Hope everyone over there is doing great.
Yes, sir.
We're still getting lots of families that are coming out with the virtual school and virtual working. It's really changed the dynamic of our traditionally off-season. I mean, it's still September, but I'm watching families out at the pool right now. So it's been really good, great for the staff, and we're just keeping everyone safe while still delivering the hospitality they expect from the Bilmar. And so far, it is doing great.
I love it. Virtual school, virtual work, sitting poolside, sitting beachside, getting stuff done. What a great life we live here in 2020.
It really is. And our new internet system goes throughout, so free Wi-Fi throughout the entire property, so you can sit by the pool while the kids swim and get the work done that you need to pay for the trip.
I'm curious, Clyde. There's recent stories and articles about people leaving, of course, moving permanent. We're talking about permanently moving residents from New York and record numbers since the pre-Giuliani crime wave and things of that nature. The shift is happening. The shift is on. Are you seeing a lot of New Yorkers, New Jersey? Where are you seeing most of your folks coming down from?
Most of our guests have really been within the region. Drive-in market, a lot of Orlando coming over.
Yep.
A lot of just up the street from Seminole and from Palm Harbor and in areas really nearby. That's over 50% of our business right now. Has been our drive-in market. A lot of repeat guests that have just been loyal to us for years and are rewarding us for doing the right things here with all of our protocols that are in place. The rules keep changing. We mentioned earlier that it's just, you've got to really continually re-educate your staff on what is and what isn't within the protocol. Currently, the face mask rule is still on for interior, so we are, working with our guests and our staff on that. In the restaurants, we did increase capacity slightly, but we're still really keeping the distancing there. So we're choosing not to go to 100% seating in the restaurants. We've got the 3 outdoor decks, so that really, creates a great safe place for people to eat the wonderful meal at Sloppy Joe's while overlooking the beach. Even breakfast now is served out of Sloppy Joe's.
Yeah,
and that's been really popular. Again, our local market there has been supporting us and keeping the servers busy in what would normally be a very slow time.
Great food, great drinks, great environment, just a great opportunity to get out and enjoy the best of Tampa Bay. It really is, truly is the best in Tampa Bay. And I got to tell you, Clyde, I actually used to work at a 5-star, 5-diamond hotel down in South Florida, traveled the world, been to a lot of really nice restaurants and hotels, and the hospitality industry is definitely something kind of near and dear to my heart. But when I go, I literally get that first-class service. I love the fact that your staff is so gracious. They are, everything is my pleasure. It's such a service. It just really feels like a home away from home when you go down to the Bilmar Beach Resort.
Well, thank you so much, and I'm very proud of all of my staff. We had 100% comeback, coming when we reopened in May. Servers, we have some servers that have been here for 12 years now. So they love what they do here. They love our customers, and they know many by first name. I believe you're one of them when you go to have a meal there. And it's gone over really well. And, they like participate in some events that we have coming up, too, in October. And I don't have the date, unfortunately, but we are going to be doing a breast cancer party and donations. We were partnering with some liquor vendors, and they're going to be doing some promotions to give back to the community specifically for that cause. And then that's going to roll right over into November, where we're doing the large standing ovation. It's going to be different this year. Our international travelers, we had 8 international visitors last year, and they just aren't ready to travel. So we're going to utilize some of the great American sand sculpture artists and do an exhibition instead of the competition this year. And it's great. This gives a little bit of away, but it's going to be called Sand Hinge, a Rise to Shine exhibition.
Nice.
So it's just a little, we're going to be a 20-foot monolith, and Dan Doubleday, our 15-time world champion that lives right here on Treasure Island, he's going to be creating a actual, using the 20-foot monolith, sundial that will actually be working throughout the event, so you can tell what time it is by where it's at. And then they'll be doing some fun, whimsical, cartoon-type things on each of the hinges that go around the 50-foot parameter, working with the city, and have lots of protocols. There's not going to be a big grandstand for a lead artist. We're going to hire our local artists that have struggled throughout this year. And so we're going to do lots of little shows throughout the event, so that we're not going to have the large congregation of people that you get when you have a big bandstand. And then vendors, we're only going 50% on vendors. It'll be a different event. We're making sure people know it's not the Master Cup, which is what this would have been the 12th year. And we're just going to move that to next year, where things will be much, much better. But we're still going to have an event. Treasure Island Beach is one of the largest beaches in the state, and we're going to utilize that space. And we're even actually going to have a kite exhibition going on just north of us to, again, further spread out the group a little bit. That's going to be November 19th to 22nd, always that week before Thanksgiving. And it's a wonderful event, and I think we're going to do it the right way and maybe become the model of what festivals look like in our future.
Oh, that's awesome. That looks like a lot of fun. November 19th, save that date. And the Bilmar Beach Resort, beautiful Treasure Island. The amenities are so plentiful as well. There's so many things you can do. You've got bikes. You've got there's free transportation on the beaches, and we always talk about our friend down at the beach, Mr. Turbo and his wife. They do a great job setting you up with some chairs, some cabanas, some umbrellas. Just such a great time.
Yep, the kayak and paddleboard. You get an hour a day of that while staying at the Bilmar. That's always a popular one. And pool areas, we have 2 pool areas, so if one looks a little crowded for someone, they can go over to the other pools. Usually one of them is busier than the others. And our 4,000 square foot sun deck. So there's plenty of outdoor space to have a great time while you're at the beach. Of course, Adirondack chairs and the fire pits are still out back, and we added a couple of extras just to make sure people can get their distance and still have their fun on the beach in the evening. Now the weather's cooling off. I think it's going to be super popular back there.
Oh yeah, it's going to be so nice to have this little break in weather. Clyde Smith, always a pleasure, my friend. Thanks for giving us that beach update, and say hello to the team for me.
Thank you. Anyone looking to come to the beach, just go to our website, BilmarBeachResort.com.
And let them know the real estate quarterback sent you as well, BilmarBeachResort.com. Book direct. Don't book at one of those online engines. It's always the best deal when you book direct. Bilmar Beach Resort. Clyde Smith, thanks again, my friend.
Excellent. Thank you. Have a great day.
My pleasure. All right, so coming up, we got Lauren Frieder, Frank Charles Miranda Law, a legal analyst here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, FCMlaw.com. Going to talk about things happening in the real estate space, maybe give some options in terms of landlord-tenant law, lots of new things happening. Maybe talk about some of the newer rules out there as well, new laws, and things happening here in Tampa Bay. Coming up as well, we got our feel-good story of the day and our feel-good positivity segment. Teen grocery store worker helps pay for elderly customer's bill after she comes up short. Stay with us. Consumer Quarterback Show. Make sure you follow us online at Brandon Rhymes1 on Instagram and Twitter, Consumer Quarterback Show page on Facebook, and we'll be right back after the short break. Don't go anywhere.
Hey, I'm Ken Shamrock, and you're here with Consumer Quarterback Show. And I say, Brandon Rhymes, knock out your competition.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com.
a mask mandate. That's how you get somebody off the property.
Oh yeah,
And that's kind of what they charged her with. They shouldn't have tased her. I felt bad for the kid. Could you imagine that was your parents?
I know. It's crazy.
Alrighty, everybody, please stand by. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You're listening to the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
And we're back. Brandon Rhymes here, your host of the Consumer Quarterback Show, helping you win in any marketplace, making you just a bit more street smart here, as we like to say on the show. This segment's brought to you by Replenish IV Solutions, the science of nutritional balance. Say hello to Stephen and Lisa Gunnan over at Replenish IV Solutions. Make sure you let them know the Real Estate Quarterback sent you. They offer these vitamins, minerals, electrolytes, and basically it's a vitamin infusion drip going right into your bloodstream, making it that much more healthy. It's going to be helping you boost your immunity. And they have multiple locations in Tampa Bay now. They've grown over the last 3 or 4 years. I've seen them grow, and they do such a great job. You go in, and they hook you up right there on Gandy Boulevard in South Tampa. They've got one off of Bears and the New Tampa, or that's North Carrollwood area right there. And they also have one in Pasco. So Replenish IV Solutions, the science of nutritional balance. Make sure you let them know the Real Estate Quarterback sent you. Take them up on those special offers. A couple of hot listings here. I got a development opportunity. Any builders, developers, entrepreneurs out there? 12208 Four Oaks Road in Tampa. 12208 Four Oaks Road in Tampa. This is a great opportunity to develop land, build, and be an entrepreneur right here in Tampa Bay. We know people are moving here in record numbers, so it makes 100% sense to build residential units. So you look at 12208 Four Oaks Road, 5 acres. It's got a small house on it. It's zoned residential, but it's R9 zoning, so you're going to be able to fit potentially 40 units on this property at 12208 Four Oaks Road in Tampa. We just did a price reduction down to $1.798 million right here in beautiful Tampa Bay. Great buying opportunity, around $1.8 million here in Tampa Bay. And also 6128 Oak Ridge Avenue in Newport Richey. This is a large waterfront home on an acre of land. Let me repeat, 1 acre of land on the river in Newport Richey with bay access. Beautiful opportunity, 4131 square feet, 4 bedrooms, 4 bath, waterfront home, bay access. Check out all of our listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com.
Somewhere sunny and 75.
All right, attorney Lauren Frieder, welcome in.
Welcome. It's really great to be here in person, Brandon.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so glad. I love to have guests sometimes in person. You know, it's just so much better than the Zooms and the phones.
It definitely is. It's been way too long. I feel like I have not gotten out of my house or the office in
There
months.
you go.
So this feels great. So I'm really excited to be here.
And we got the plexiglass in between us just in case.
I feel very, very safe. You guys are doing it the right way.
There we go. Frank Charles, Miranda Law in the house. You've heard Frank on the show. You've heard Stephanie on the show as well. FCMlaw.com. So when you look at right now, I think the thing that's very topical right now is this whole evictions deal. You know, what's the federal moratorium eviction mean versus the Florida moratorium eviction?
It's a hot topic for sure. As we know, the federal government through the CDC entered a halting evictions through December 31st, 2020, and comparing and that was enacted approximately on September 2nd. And comparing the federal moratorium eviction with Florida's moratorium eviction, I think is going to be really helpful to talk about today because in some sense, there's pros and cons to both. So which one might be a better route for you if you are a tenant unable to pay rent affected by COVID?
Yeah. And it's such a conundrum, too, because the landlords or investors, they're saying, hey, I bought this asset as a performing asset. I need to make money on it. So then they get behind. And then, hopefully the banks are working with the landlords as well.
Yes, I think the saddest part is really there isn't in either one of these moratoriums any relief for the landlords. There's a little bit maybe better relief if under the federal. That's simply because as the way that the ordinance is written, you have to declare as a tenant under penalty of perjury all these different declarations, and you will face, criminal penalties if you lie. So when you tell your landlord and you give them this penalty under a perjury declaration, the landlord's going to check into it, and so is the government. So it gives a little extra more protection in that sense for the landlords versus under the Florida standard, it's written a little bit more ambiguously. So less protection for the landlords again.
Interesting.
Yes.
Okay. So we're talking with attorney Lauren Frieder here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. So you've got these evictions, the moratoriums in place, COVID-19. We've opened back up into phase. What is it? Phase 3 now?
Phase 3. I'm not sure if I think we should be there, but here we are. So
yeah. So phase 3's here. We got some of the football teams are opening up. It's like, okay, we can do a quarter coming up. I got a text or email from the Bucks. They're saying, yeah, you can have whatever it is. I think they're friends and family first, and then 25%. Where do you see this thing going, and what's legal?
Well, I mean, it's legal to have moved on to phase 3. That's what Governor DeSantis has ordered.
Okay.
I think what's important is I think there's a lot of confusion with people when the new order from Governor DeSantis, he talked about the suspension of COVID-19 related individual fines and penalties, which was consistent with his past executive orders, specifically Executive Order 2092, and that would allow for collections of fines and penalties pursuant to Florida Statute 252.5, which is a second-degree misdemeanor, and you could be punished up to 60 days in prison or fined up to $500. He rescinded that, so there's no more of these individual penalties pursuant to his executive orders. What's important for people to realize that the local mask mandates, so for example in Tampa or Hillsborough, that are in place for people to still continue to wear their masks indoors, these are considered still in effect because these locally passed mask ordinances can only be repealed by the governments that pass them or with the expiration of the local or state emergency.
Yeah.
Do I expect some legal challenges throughout all this? Absolutely. I mean, we're in unprecedented times. It gets really confusing when you're looking at the state levels or if the federal rules and local ordinances. I mean, obviously, we know you always start at the top and who has the most power. So I think people are getting very confused with this. I do have some advice for business owners because remember, this only pertains to individuals. So if you're like our law firm and we require masks, when you walk in, if a patron comes in, a client, and they don't put on a mask, you can ask them to leave, even if they have a condition, because this is your business and you need to protect people. If they don't leave, then you would call and ask for that person to be trespassed.
Just simply trespass them.
Yeah,
Hey,
no
you're
shirt,
on
no
my
shoes,
property.
no service.
Yeah.
Same thing with a mask.
Yeah.
So that's the easiest way to look at it. Even if people don't like wearing the mask, it's annoying to me to have to wear it all day, 5 days a week, but it's important. We just don't know enough about what's going on out there.
Yeah, it's a challenging time, and when you look at it's the old conundrum also of local control versus state control versus to the next level federal control.
Exactly. And so I think that's where I really wanted to hone in on just really what that phase 3 means regarding the masks and suspension of fines. If you look back to a lot of the executive orders that were entered by Governor DeSantis throughout this pandemic, he always talks about, that you can be fined with up to the second-degree misdemeanor.
Yeah.
So I think that's really important that people know that's gone away. Don't need to worry about that, but you need to listen to your local governments.
Yeah, so other provisions, you got some great show notes here. People over 65, those underlying health problems should continue to practice social distancing. Businesses that have been teleworking because of the pandemic can resume unrestricted staffing. So it's changing up.
It is changing. I
Parks.
think it's important in Florida. We're a right-to-work state. It's in our Constitution. So I love what Governor DeSantis is trying to do. He wants people back working in business, making money, because like we've talked about with the evictions, it's a trickle-down effect. So people need to be working. So now there's no restrictions for if a business wants to open.
Yeah.
And that, no business can be shut down and before we couldn't have tattoo parlors open, for example. Those
Yep.
are allowed.
Gyms, fitness centers now can open.
Yeah.
And I guess
At full capacity.
I've heard, they're in there working out. They're trying to be healthy. They want to be, working out, and it's and then it's interesting too when you see the actual statistics come out. The death rate is super low on this thing.
It is really low. And I'm happy to see the numbers in Florida trending down. It will be interesting to see. I was watching the hockey game, and I'm so excited about the Stanley Cup, but I was really scared when I saw the crowds of people at Thunder Alley. I just hope people stay smart so we don't have a repeat of the summer.
Exactly.
In the winter.
Yeah, because that's what happened in Dade County. I got friends down in Fort Lauderdale. I've been trying to get down there to see my buddy Corey go fishing. And, he's got a beautiful boat. We go off right there on the Atlantic and catch some fish. Reopen, re-shut down.
Yeah.
Reopen, re-shut down.
Yeah, I mean, I know Governor DeSantis says that we are not going to shut down again, which is great, but we still need to stay smart. If you can work from home, this is all common sense kind of stuff. We're all in this together, so.
That's right. Yep, and if you're that worried about it, stay home.
Exactly.
Order your grocery. It's a great world we live in, right?
It is a
you
great
can
world.
order
This
from
is like my
Instacart.
first time being out in months.
Right, you literally order from Grubhub, Instacart, you get your food to your house.
Yeah.
It's just a great world we live in, and I think that too many times we kind of zero in on negative things and the negative effects of things, and we really got to focus on this is a great country. We've done some great things to build ourselves to this position.
This is a great country, and we've done an amazing response given everything that's happened with COVID. And I just think you're so spot on about staying positive because there are so many beautiful things and good things that can come out of all these different hard times. And nothing good happens without going through adversity.
That's right.
So that's how change occurs.
Yep, and speaking of good stuff and change, we've got a positive story of the day coming up. We got teen grocery store worker helps pay elderly customer's bill after she comes up short. So there's a positive story coming up soon. But yeah, when you look at things happening out in the community, and we got of course the voting, the mail-in voting. There's so many things we could talk about. Bloomberg, there's he potentially paid for votes. I mean, there's all this stuff in the news. But as a consumer advocate, we want to help people understand the buying decisions and making them, when it comes to things that can actually affect them.
Absolutely. We're here to protect the consumers.
Yeah.
That's what matters.
So when it gets into landlord-tenant law, what do you think is one of the common things that you hear at your law firm? You guys do a lot of real estate closings, real estate transaction is kind of a core function of the law firm. When it comes to landlord-tenant law, what are some of the common complaints that you see, and then common things that people, you shouldn't have did that, you got yourself in trouble?
So right now, evictions are going forward. Governor DeSantis has changed the eviction moratorium, so it allows us to to go ahead and finally pursue evictions that maybe were on pause before COVID happened or were not being able to be filed because of these stays in place. So I think it's really important, that people realize now the standard has changed. So, your landlord can serve you a 3-day notice, can file an eviction, and the burden of proof now is going under Florida law.
Different than, say, New Jersey or New York law.
Yeah, and then we'll talk a little bit about the federal moratorium, too. But you're under Florida law, if you get served with an eviction, so that's a lawsuit, you've got 5 days to respond or put some money in the court registry or file a motion to determine rents. So in those 5 days now, what Governor DeSantis has allowed is that he will stay your eviction as it relates to non-payment of rent, only for residential tenants, again, nothing commercial, as it goes to a COVID-19 emergency. So you have this extra burden of proof as a tenant if you don't pay your rent to show the courts that you've been adversely affected by the COVID emergency. And Governor DeSantis defines this as the loss of employment, diminished wages, or business income. And then the tell-all ambiguous part would be, or other monetary loss realized during the Florida state of emergency, directly impacting the ability of a residential tenant to make rent payments. So all this stuff is going to be told. And the cool part, too, versus the federal CDC that we're talking about with the eviction moratorium versus Governor DeSantis's eviction moratorium, is it also stays foreclosures at the state level. This does not happen at the federal level under the CDC federal order. So under the state level, state order, the process for the final action of a mortgage foreclosure proceeding is going to be stayed or tolled or suspended if the person can show that the non-payment of mortgage by a single family mortgager is adversely affected by COVID-19. Remember, you still got to pay everything in the end.
And that's open to interpretation. Hey, I had a loss. Was it a significant loss? What was it?
Exactly.
I had other expenses even too, right, Lauren?
Yeah, that's what that I read things in what I call an estudium generis. It's what we go into Latin phrases when we think about contract interpretation. But at least in the CDC, they really give you they tell you unambiguously, in my opinion, what you must meet, and you must meet all criteria to not have to worry about being evicted or pay your rent. And that goes through December 31st, 2020. It might be extended. Okay. So that's nice because the state orders keep pretty much getting renewed each month. So people are waiting until the last day of the month to find out has Governor DeSantis extended this order, modified it. Right. And a lot of renters and landlords want to know.
Yeah, absolutely. It's important. It's where you live. It's your housing. It's the number one expense for most people is the housing.
Exactly.
If you look at debt ratio, when you think about mortgages and finance, it's housing expense is probably the biggest for most people. All right, stay with us. More from attorney Lauren Frieder coming up here. Frank Charles Miranda Law, FCMlaw.com. And we also have our feel-good story of the day, so stay with us. We'll be right back after a quick break from our sponsor.
This is Chris Voss, former FBI lead hostage negotiator and owner of the Black Swan Group, and you're listening to Consumer Quarterback Show hosted by my friend Brandon Rhymes.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com.
This is Diane Vance with Fairway Independent Mortgage, a member of the Consumer Quarterback Show. Please give me a call for any of your mortgage needs. We do all sorts of loans. If you would like information on a mortgage, you can text me or call me at 727-647-8199. I will take care of all your mortgage needs. Go to my website at dianevance.com.
Ian Beckles here with my man Brandon Rhymes, a.k.a. the real estate quarterback. Brandon, what's happening with the market?
Thanks, Ian. We are in a low inventory market, so any of our listeners are homeowners and would like a free comparable market analysis or a 2.5% listing, we will honor this for the first 3 listeners who call or text in 813-773-1253. Free CMA and a 2.5% real estate listing at 813-773-1253.
Check out consumerqb.com. Selling commercial or residential property? Don't leave money on the table. List with the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. I'm Brandon Rhymes. Reach me at 813-670-7372 or platinummvpteam.com.
You're listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-670-7372.
And we're back. Brandon Rhymes here, Consumer Quarterback Show, powered by the Platinum MVP team, Keller Williams Realty, helping you win in your real estate deals. Certified negotiation expert, and we help you win in your negotiations, buying, selling, or investing. Of course, we would love to talk to you. My wife, Lindsay, also does feng shui. She's feng shui certified and pranic healing as well. And a couple of hot listings here, 8001 U.S. Highway 301 South in Riverview. This is a great opportunity. It's a corner lot, traffic light, with 50,000 vehicles driving by daily, 2 buildings on site, and you've got over 4,181 square feet total and 33 parking spaces. Great opportunity. There's a restaurant operating currently, Riverview Sandwich Shop, and also a church in the back as well. 8001 U.S. Highway 301 South in Riverview. Great buying opportunity in Tampa Bay. Now, we have a vacant lot in South Tampa as well. 5510 South Elkins, 5510 South Elkins is a vacant lot. This is a buildable lot in South Tampa. Build your own dream home right here in Tampa Bay. 12 minutes to downtown, 4 minutes to the Tampa Yacht Club. Won't last long. 5510 South Elkins Avenue in beautiful South Tampa. Check out all of our listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com. And a quick shout out to Brothers Easy Moving, the official moving partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. Brothers Easy Moving. Whether you're planning a local or long distance move, reach out to Brothers Easy Moving. Make sure you let them know the Real Estate Quarterback sent you. Every day we're going to tell you something positive here in our Feel Good story.
Tell me something good.
All right, you got a teenage bagger at a grocery store noticed an elderly customer fumbling around in her purse. Have you ever been there? I've been there before. You know, people fumbling around.
I'm there constantly.
Or remember when they used to have checkbooks? You know, people pull out the checkbook. Yeah. They pull out the checkbook. You're like, oh man, come on, man, swipe the card. So, anyways, you had she noticed $20. They were coming up $20 short on a grocery bill in the amount of $150. So he stepped in and paid the rest of her balance. Isaiah Edwards, a nice young man, a gentleman. It's apparently a senior at Maryville High School, works part-time at the supermarket in Crown Point, Indiana. And his act of kindness was photographed by another customer who's in line and posted on social media, and it went viral. I took this picture in line a half an hour ago. Suzanne D. posted on Facebook, and here's the quote. She said, I had been thinking crabby thoughts about humanity just before I spotted this young man who was bagging groceries, pull out his wallet, pay the remainder of a customer's bill when she said she didn't have enough. See? There are still heroes.
I love that.
Cool.
He is a gentleman, a young gentleman. I love it.
That's cool, man.
Yes.
I love that. He was brought up right.
Yes, exactly.
Brought up right. His parents done good.
They did do good. That's for sure.
All right, we got attorney Lauren Frieder here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Frank Charles Miranda Law can help you with local title closings, real estate law, landlord-tenant law, lots of stuff in between. By the way, what else in between? You guys are doing lots of stuff. Litigation.
We do a lot of stuff. We don't just do the real estate. We do a ton of litigation. That's my specialty. I miss being in person in court, but court has still gone on via Zoom and telephone every day. We do a lot of complex business disputes, commercial business issues, a lot of personal injury, catastrophic personal injury. Actually, a very sad new case, but we've taken on, having forensics out there, engineers. It gets very, very interesting. Human factors experts. So not just the real estate, but I always like to say we probably do about 1/3 of real estate and real estate litigation issues. We have the title stuff. Then maybe 1/3 about business, commercial, and consumer, and then 1/3 personal injury. But Frank and I have actually discussed, because we do have a lot of clients that apparently, unfortunately from COVID, may not be too happy with their current living situation.
Yep.
So we have done divorces before for some of higher end clients and people that are on the higher end. So we are going to move into divorce law as well, because there is a demand for that.
Yeah, it's a challenging situation. I think, first of all, it's got to be kind of a rush to be a litigator.
It is a rush.
You're going in, you're preparing kind of like the football team, the coach, the whole, you got to make sure everything's there. You got to plan what they're going to try to do. It's pretty cool, right?
It is really cool. It's an adrenaline rush for me. You've got to try to outthink the other side, think of every single what if strategy, prepare for everything, because it's always going to be the one thing you could not possibly have thought of. Mm-hmm. That's probably going to be what does come in. And so at least in all other ways, you've tried to control the situation, because as attorneys, we are kind of control freaks. It's a complete rush. And then when it's all said and done, when you're done with trial or court, and you're like, it's like, well, that's over with, and you're happy that you won, but you have to remember you have to pick back up and go on to the next person and topic. So right now, this week, I might be becoming, in a sense, all I've been reading out about is biomechanical engineering. So I got to get that out of my brain for next week. So if I'm an expert in that this week, and then next week, whatever, the case might be about, that's what I'm going to learn and breathe in and out. So I always saw people ask me about that knowledge before it goes away, because I got to focus on something else.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's always interesting in litigation. It doesn't get old.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool. So right now you're not able to do that, or are you doing it via Zoom or Skype?
We are doing it via Zoom. I thoroughly miss going to the courthouse so much. I know each court system has different phase plans in place, so I'm on the civil side. So the criminal side is very backed up. So a lot of the civil circuit judges are going to be having to help with the criminal dockets being so backed up, which makes sense because there's a lot of due process concerns. So I really don't know when I'm going to be able to get into my civil trials, jury trials in person. We've done bench trials via Zoom, a few of them. And I thought they worked great, but that's just because you have a judge. You don't have a jury on that.
Yeah.
So I miss court, though, so much. I miss the people.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
I always thought, if back in the day, I would kind of second guess myself, when I was first getting into mortgage and finance. I was like, man, because I took the I studied for the LSAT back when I first graduated, but I always thought, man, law would be fun.
It's fun.
It'd be good.
It's like it goes to any topic, and that's what I love about it. I mean, it's just very interesting, and it's not going to hurt you to know the law in whatever you do.
Exactly.
So
you're always going to be needed.
That's for sure.
I
definitely felt essential during all this too. So
say again, you thought what?
I felt essential during all the. Everything that's going on. I mean, it's really important for attorneys to stay up to date because the rules and the laws change day to day.
Look at wherever the economy goes, up, down, left, right. BP oil spill in the Gulf, hurricane. Yeah, there's always something going on.
There's always something.
Yeah.
And I love helping people. That's why I became an attorney. I want to right wrongs. So
good.
I'm happy to do that.
Justice for all.
Right.
That's what this great country
was founded on. It needs to be that way. So
right.
Hopefully it continues to get better.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Well, always a pleasure, Lauren. Thanks so much. Frank Charles Miranda Law. Check them out online, fcmlaw.com, and reach out for any of your legal needs.
Thank you.
As we always say, we want you to please go out there and consider committing a random act of kindness. Do something kind for one another. Be a force for good in the community. Donate some blood, donate some time. Lots of ways you can give and be a force for good in the community. And make sure you follow us online. We would love to connect with you at Brandon Rhymes 1 on Instagram and Twitter, Consumer Quarterback Show page on Facebook. We'll see you next time.
You've been listening to the Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. Whether it's real estate, consumer, or financial advice, let Brandon call your next play. Contact Brandon Rhymes at 813-670-7372. That's 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com. And join us next time for the Consumer Quarterback Show.